Welcome to Carentan Counterattack. In this video I'm playing as the US forces again, as I did with Carentan Day 1 and 2, and my objective here is to defend Carentan against an incoming German assault. The Germans want to take back Carentan. So I've got small pockets of infantry I'm going to use to try and hold the line for as long as possible until reinforcements arrive from the outskirts of the southern side of the map. Now I've got troops set up in good tactical positions here, such as this bell tower position of the church where I've got a sniper, and this is the angle of advance the German forces will be approaching from, which will be from the north of the map. I anticipate them to come down that main road. So I've set up infantry, like I say, in various houses, poised out of windows, bazooka teams, anti-tank teams, snipers, machine gunners, but mostly infantry. I've got some mortar crews though, and some light field cannons, and two heavier AT stroke artillery guns that are covering both the left and right flanks down the further ends of the street. So I've got a reasonably good force, but it's not that good. It's not that formidable. But I'm going to try and hold the line for as long as possible, and only call in reinforcements at the last minute. So here comes the first German attack force, a small group of infantry, obviously probing my line. Some kind of forward reconnaissance team. They're moving up the centre, so I'm just going to let them come. I'm not going to engage them until they get close. So I've got a line of troops there in the trench, which you may recall from Carentan Day 2, that was quite a tough position to capture. I'm just going to hit these guys with a mortar. They're trying to sneak in up the centre there. It's not going to happen. So my mortar shells have wasted them. So that's dealt with them. Looks like they're on the horizon. You can just see a second German squad coming in. About 15 troops. So they appear to be moving up the right flank, or they're moving down the main road actually. So much the same as the first squad.
The Germans are going to learn how we do it in Missouri. Take cover!
It appears that they are flanking right, so they're going to try and move right. So I've got a squad set up here behind this wall. Try and take some pot shots at them. A little bit out of range though, really.
The Germans are going to learn how we do it in Missouri.
So they're moving up this centre road here. This could be a big mistake because I can set up a crossfire really and shoot at them from both sides. So I've got that German squad pinned down, wiped most of them out there, nasty crossfire, they ran straight into it, nice ambush. So I've got shooters on both sides of that road. And I've got a mortar crew opening up on them as well. So They can throw squads like that at me all day. I can handle it. Looks like a third German group of infantry now coming in. Still a bit of combat going on here. I think maybe some of those German troops are hiding in the bushes, but I'm sure I can pick those off. Yeah, just see on the map there, there's still a few hiding in the bushes there, but not to worry. So this third German group, they're heading on my left flank, heading towards the church. I'll try and snipe them. Looks like I hit one. Nice. Nope, he just went prone. Looks, for a minute then I thought I'd snipe the officer, that would have been nice. But that sniper's got a good position there, a good vantage point. He can pick them off as they run up that main road. So putting down some pretty heavy fire on me. And I'm returning fire, keeping them pinned down. Got a field cannon here. And I've got a mortar crit that's opened up on them. And they've been wiped out. They had no chance of getting up that road. And it looks like I've mopped up that other remnants of that other squad. So far, so good. Okay, so this is a big threat now. The ante has been upped considerably. German King Tiger is rolling in on my left flank, heading directly towards the church, backed up by a number of German infantry squads. And it looks like a further German squad moving in on the centre of the map. So this is going to be a real challenge for my defensive force here. I've got bazooka teams set up in the church and in that building on the right of the road there, you can just see it. And I've got this small field cannon I'm going to try and use to engage the King Tiger. But this is a big threat now. Track damaged. That was lucky. Oh! Tiger's taken out my field cannon. Infantry getting sniped in the church. Oh, nice! Something killed the Tiger there, I'm not sure what. Looks like it was my heavy AT gun. Positioned right at the bottom of the street there, as you can see. That was lucky. Nice lucky strike on the Tiger there, and an outright explosion destroyed it in one hit. These things happen in war, I guess. Unlucky for me. Okay, well the German attack's starting to ramp up now, it's getting pretty serious. So they're rolling in more tanks, more infantry squads. It's like a Hummel and a Stug and around 30 infantry. So they're moving in on the right flank. I'm going to try and engage them with this AT gun. Take out the tanks, that's a priority. Ah, Jesus. Okay, so I've lost the AT gun on the right flank. That's a problem. Infantry are rolling in on the centre of the map now, trying to engage the trench, trying to get in there. Okay, German troops are establishing a bit of a foothold here, which is not good. I don't like the look of that. Looks like the Hummel crew's abandoned the vehicle. It's running idle. Now that they've been killed. Stugs opens up on my other AT gun. That's a threat. They're still in the fight though. Got to engage that Stug. He's rolling up the centre now. Rolling into the centre of the town square. Can't get a hit. So I've got a whole bunch of infantry in that front building, but they can't do much against the Stug. Flanking my trench line. Just flank the trench. My infantry are vulnerable. I need to pull back the infantry from the trench line, abandon the trench line, pull them back to an Alamo position here at this sandbag emplacement. Things are getting pretty hairy now. In fact, I'm pulling them back even further. I'm losing ground here. This is getting pretty intense. I'm pulling them back to this house. And the Germans have really opened up on me here. They've kind of established a bit of a foothold. And they're pushing me back. Kind of breaking me. Looks like the Shermans have entered the fight though. Got some Shermans that have just rolled in. So some Shermans have rolled in to reinforce me there, kind of at the nick of time really. I was starting to struggle a bit there, things were looking a little bit hairy. So let's engage the Hummel. More German tanks are rolling in. So I'm rolling forward the Sherman. I've taken out that Stug. Okay, well the Germans are hitting me with everything they've got now. This is the big one. This is the real assault now. This is the test. Everything else has just been a little bit of a preparatory strike, really. So they're rolling in with hundreds of infantry, multiple tanks. I need to pull back this Sherman. He's vulnerable. Too late. Sherman's engaged. So my right flank's looking quite vulnerable here. Look at that. Now that's a huge German force that's entered the map now. Quite a flashpoint going on. So I need to think about how I'm going to play this. I'm going to keep the infantry where they are, and I'm going to try and get more Shermans to roll up from the reinforcement pool I've got at the bottom of the map. But like I say, I want to use as few as possible. I want to try and do this smoothly and not by using all my resources. So I've got this right flank covered still by this squad. Oh, they're getting hit. Oh, they're getting flanked. They've been flanked on the left there. They're exposed. Need to pull them back. They got nowhere to go though. Oh, they're just getting hemmed down. They're out of the fight. They were flanked and dealt with. Nasty. So my right flank's completely open now. Now I need to try and engage this Panzer with this lighter field cannon I've got set up behind this sandbag emplacement. Hopefully I can get a hit on him. Ineffectual shots. Panzer dealt with that crew pretty easily, so I've lost the field cannon there. Oh, he's taking a shot at my mortar crew. Still in the fight. Direct hit, mortar crew's out. Things are looking really, really hairy now for me. This is getting very tight now. Stug's rolling in on the left flank. So he's opening up on the church. Got an AT team on that house on the right of the street. He's fired at the Stug there with a bazooka. Got to try and hit him with a bazooka. That's all I've got left. Come on. If that Stug gets near the church, I'm screwed. Have to hit it with this bazooka shot. Yes, there we go. Stug's out of the game. Direct hit. There's a nice bazooka strike there on the Stug. He's going nowhere. So German forces now swarming the centre of Carentan. More Shermans rolling in to reinforce my position. And look at that, huge German infantry presence, more tanks. So, Shermans are rolling in. Huge flashpoint now. Germans have pushed in, gained a foothold. I need to try and regain my ground on the centre of Carentan. Panzer's moving in. I've got more Shermans rolling up the main street from the south of Carentan here, moving up the bridge, which you may recall from day one. Need to try and get them into the fight. So it looks like that Panther's been dealt with. He got nastily close there to the edge of the town. My infantry is still alive. Shermans on the left flank now. Left flank's looking pretty... Oh! So I lost the Sherman there. Looks like the left flank's not really being probed by the Germans. So that Jagdpanther's picking my Shermans off one by one. He's the main threat now, he's my main target, I would suggest. He's the biggest asset the Germans have got on the field, and he's target number one as far as I'm concerned. So I've got to try and get that Jagdpanther. He's in a good position, he's set himself up, overlooking the angle of advance the Shermans have moving into that main street. Germans aren't really focusing on the left flank, they're focusing on the centre and the right. They've not really pressed their infantry up the right flank though. They seem to be camping, focusing on the centre of Carentan, trying to defend that trench line. So I need to flush them out of the trench. Push them back through. Got to try and engage this Jagdpanther. Jagdpanther's now pushing forwards, trying to take some ground and push me out of Carentan essentially, because that's the outskirts now on the southern flank. And if the Jagdpanther manages to push my Shermans back, the Germans have essentially captured Carentan, frankly. So I can't let that Jagdpanther survive. Trying to engage it with this M10 Wolverine, trying to shoot through the walls, but I'm going to have to try and get a little closer, I think. Just a bit... Shit, it's taken out my Sherman. Lining it up. Got to be patient with this. Got to get the perfect shot on that Panther. He's camping now, overlooking the main courtyard of Carentan. He's taken out about 3 or 4 Shermans. There we go. Good night. Boom. You're out of the game, son. So, hull destroyed. Jagdpanther's out of the fight. That's a relief, because if that Jagdpanther had pushed me back anymore, I think I'd start having to question if I was going to have much left to fight them. So, rolling forward this M10 Wolverine. Still got some Shermans on the left flank. That AT gun's still in the fight, that's a relief. Didn't realise he was still going. So I'm going to pull this AT team out of the house, pull them back. Just try and focus all my assets in one place. Shermans are taking a real beating here still. I've still got infantry in this house overlooking the main area of Carentan, where the German troops are beginning to mass. Moving forward, that Sherman now on the left. I need to try and regain some ground. Now I think I've got the Germans bottlenecked, and I think I've managed to hold them back pretty effectively, I must say. I lost quite a lot of ground, and it was looking rather hairy there at one point. They pushed me almost right back to the main road into the southern side of Carentan, as you can see there. But it looks to me like I've managed to keep them relatively pinned in the centre of Carentan there. Got to hit him with some high explosive rounds, anti-infantry rounds from the tank. Use the AT gun as well. So I've got a few Shermans here. I can use them and try and flank now. Flank them, hook right, and hit the Germans from behind perhaps. It's a possible tactic. The church is pretty much uncontested, so I don't really need to worry about them. Essentially now it's just a case of mopping up, flushing the Germans back out of the town, essentially. They've lost all their tanks. So I think they're there for the taking. So I'm gonna hit them hard with my own counter-attack. Tanks and all my infantry from my reinforcement pool. I'm going to hit them all at once and flush them out of that trench line. Try and hit those guys with the mortar. A few German troops there hiding. That's about as far as they got on the right flank. Didn't push it that hard. So here come my infantry reinforcements, ready to back up the defensive force in Carentan, who have quite obviously taken a pretty hard beating, but they have held their ground with the help of Shermans from the US 2nd Armoured Division, no doubt. So can't underestimate the German position. There's still a hell of a lot of them in the centre of the town now, as you can tell from the map. But I think I've got the numbers to flush them out and send them packing. So I'm just going to hit them hard now. Direct assault. Storm the trench. Germans are on the retreat. They're pulling back. So I've recaptured the trench, recaptured the centre of the town, and the Germans have retreated.
Germans are gonna learn how we do it in Missouri.
So that was a victory then. The Germans have failed to retake Carentan. So the rest of this is now a mopping up exercise. There are still a few troops holding up against my force. But as you can see, my mortar barrage is dealing with them. And they're now dead by the looks of it. There's still a few hanging around up there though, so I'm going to send my tanks and infantry up there just to flush them out, finish them off. But essentially the German attack has failed. I've managed to kind of bottleneck them in the centre of Carentan, took out their tanks, and the infantry essentially couldn't do much against my Shermans, so they ended up camping in the trench, holding a defensive line, and I was able to retake the position, and the infantry then retreated. So the Germans basically didn't quite have enough of a force to push me out back out of Carentan. Shermans proved invaluable really, but I think the infantry did a very good job of holding the town before the Shermans rolled in. And as you can see, I didn't use as many reinforcements as I've got available to me. So at the bottom of the map there's still quite a few blue units, essentially US forces. So I'm just going to finish them off. That was one of the most, I'd say, intense battles I've had in Men of War. I was pretty sure I was going to lose that one, and I think certainly during that period where the Jagdpanther had taken out 3 or 4 Shermans and set up a position in the centre of Carentan, I was pretty sure I didn't really have much left to engage it with, but managed to get a shot on him with the M10 Wolverine, and I think the AT gun proved pretty useful. The real victory for me during this battle was taking out that King Tiger early on, and the anti-tank team set up in the buildings did a very good job of engaging the tanks with bazookas, taking out Stugs. So all of that came together really in the end, and that's what enabled me to seal the victory. So by the looks of it, there's one single German soldier left hiding in a shed. There you go. That's where I would be as well. After a botched assault, that's the only place to go. So, victory, well-earned victory there. The red bodies represent the German forces, the yellow the US side. So, costly for both sides, but the Germans really did take a pounding there. They threw numbers at me, and I managed to obliterate their force and hold the line. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more.